All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul J. Lipsky, and I'm here today to answer all your questions about dropshipping, eBay, and Amazon. Coming to you today from Forest City, Iowa. I travel full-time digital nomad, so that's where I am today. But let me know in the chat where in the world you are chatting in from. And if you have any questions about eBay or Amazon or dropshipping, ask them inside the live chat. I'll answer them for you guys right now. Now, I know not all of you can join me on the lives. That's why I do them at a different time on a different day every single week. So if you want to make sure you don't miss the next live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell notification so you actually get alerted on your phone when I go live. You should do that from your phone. I'm going to answer some of the questions you guys asked this week. So first up, I wanted to give a big shout out to... where'd it go? I lost it. Okay. Well, okay, something got messed up here. Let me switch this over. There we go. Let me just switch the camera. All right. So a big shout out to one of my students, Larry. Larry just posted inside our private Facebook group, which is just for members of the eBay dropshipping course, and just hit $10,000 in sales. Larry has been posting up his results pretty much every single week. So thanks, Larry, for that motivation for the other students, and congratulations on hitting $10,000 in sales. Just hired a virtual assistant, which is one of the things I recommend inside my courses, and it's obviously making a big difference for him. He's really climbing up and up and up 60 days. So congratulations to you, Larry. Okay. We have Lukey here. What's up, Lukey? And we have Marceo from Oregon. What's up? We have Luxy2 from Luxembourg. And Christy Jonas from Denmark. And Isoma from Arizona. Las Vegas here. What's up? Sacramento. Bobby's here. What's up, Bobby? Thanks for making it. And okay, Susan has a question right off the bat, so let's get right into these questions. Susan says, hey Paul, help. I had an item on eBay drop shipping from Amazon, but Amazon, the price increase and my buyer paid. Now I'll lose money if I fulfill the order. Susan wants to know what to do. So Susan, first I want to ask if you're using a repricing software with your eBay dropshipping business. So a repricing software, what it will do is it will actually connect or link up the item on Amazon that you're buying from with the item on eBay that you're selling, so that the price changes on Amazon. If it goes up, the price will automatically go up on eBay for you. So if you're not using that software, that's the first thing I would look into so that this mistake doesn't happen again. And the one that I use, I will have it linked up in the description of this video. That is my affiliate link, but I don't gain anything. I'm sorry, you don't lose anything by using that link. I just get a small kickback if you use it. That's what affiliate link does. And if you use that, you get a $1 trial of that software. Now, what you should do right now, though, is that you should first see if you could buy the item somewhere else. Well, first see how much of a loss you'd be receiving on Amazon. Just going to lose $1 or $2, I would actually purchase it and ship it to the buyer. Yes, you're going to lose $1 or $2, but you're going to avoid having to cancel an order. You're going to avoid any potential negative feedback. So that'd be the first thing that I would recommend. If it's a big price difference and you would lose a lot of money, Susan, then what I would recommend is that you look on another website for the same item. Look on Walmart, look on Target, look on eBay even from someone else. Just keep looking around. You might find it somewhere else cheaper. And keep coming back to Amazon, because a lot of times the price will actually go back down on Amazon as well. There's a software you can use called Camel, which will show you when the price changed on Amazon. So you can see like, oh, if this item goes up and down in price frequently, there's a chance that it might go back down in price again. You could also check on Amazon the other sellers selling the same product. If someone else is selling it for cheaper, you might want to buy it from them and then ship that item to the customer. So those would be my recommendations. Last resort is you cancel the order, or you can actually tell the buyer, hey, we don't have this right now. Do you want to wait for it to come back into stock? And many buyers will be willing to wait as long as you communicate with them and kind of tell them what's going on. Okay. Iowa's great for drop shippers, says Barry. Shaymay, hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hey Paul, hello Paul, please have a question. Do I need to buy inventory from a supplier in order to start drop shipping on Amazon? No, you do not. So that's what drop shipping is not. The way drop shipping works is like this. You're going to find an item on another retail website. Let's say it's this drone right here. And though I would not recommend drop shipping a brand like this Mavic DJI, but let's say it's just this drone. You see it's being sold on Walmart. So then you go into eBay and you tell eBay, hey, I have one of these drones I want to sell. You obviously mark it up in price because you have to cover your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, as well as the cost of the item, and you make a profit. So build that into the price you listed at. Then what you do is once the item sells on eBay, then you buy this from Walmart. And when you go to ship the item, you don't ship it to your address, you ship it directly to the customer. And so then this gets sent directly to the customer, and you never have to see the inventory. You don't have to buy it before you list it up for sale on eBay. So it's not like you're gonna have boxes and boxes and boxes of these drones that are just kind of sitting there that you're hoping are going to sell. You're only actually going to buy this drone once someone buys it from you. We have Andrew from Albuquerque. What's up? Bobby, Minnesota. Sacramento. Okay, let's see if there's any questions. Okay, is AutoDS auto ordering non-API, and have you used it before? So I think you're confusing two separate parts of AutoDS, API and non-API. So when what non-API, when it matters with dropshipping software, is you do not want to use API to connect your software with eBay. So there is software that can connect up with eBay through eBay's API. You don't want to do that with dropshipping software. You don't want that connection, that API connection between dropshipping software and eBay. But there's no problem with having an API connection between the dropshipping software and another website where you might be ordering the product from, like AliExpress. There are other ways that auto ordering works besides using API, but I'm just kind of using this as an example so you understand where API matters and where you don't want to be using it. So that's really where it matters. Now, AutoDS, when you use it, there is an option so that when you connect up AutoDS with eBay, it uses a non-API connection, and that's the one that you want to use. Okay, so John or OJ John says, hey, I saw in one of your videos you said Amazon holds your money for 14 days. So my question is, do they do that the first time you make a sale, or do they keep doing that forever? And they keep doing that forever. So unlike on eBay, when you first start making sales, they will hold your money for 2 weeks. It was not 2 weeks. They hold your money until the item has been delivered to the customer, and then they release it to you. That's what happens on eBay as a new seller. After about a month to 3 months, they stop doing that. After that time period, they release the money directly to you, and you have full access to it right away. Amazon's not the same. Amazon will hold your money for 2 weeks, and they'll keep holding your money for 2 weeks. It's just the way they work. They want to be extra careful that you aren't going to defraud people, that you're not trying to take their money and run away without shipping them the products. So that's what they do. Okay. So how are you dealing with orders disappearing and reappearing from Autodesk Orders Page? If that's the case for you, then I would recommend that you get your orders directly from eBay and rely more on that than anything else. Okay. All right, so let's look at some questions that you guys asked during this week. So, as I made a video talking about how eBay is now handling sales tax for us for many states. So this viewer asked, even though eBay is taking care of sales tax for us sellers, do we still want to become tax exempt on the purchasing side? Yes, you do. So eBay is now collecting sales tax for us for many states, but you still want to go through the process of actually registering with a few of the states, getting a resale certificate, and becoming tax exempt so that when you purchase items from, let's say, Walmart or Home Depot, that you don't have to pay sales tax when you purchase the item. That's going to save you a lot of money that you actually don't have to pay because you are a reseller. So yes, absolutely, I would still go through the process. If you're a member of my course, I teach how to do that, how to actually get the proper documents so that you can become tax exempt. And that puts you at a huge advantage because then you don't have to pay that money to Walmart, to Home Depot, and it makes you more money. Okay, so start of a new year right now. So big question is about income tax. Does eBay send you a 1099? No, they do not. PayPal sends you a 1099. PayPal is the one that sends it to you. Now, this might change with eBay's managed payments. So eBay is rolling out their own payment system that's separate from PayPal. It's going to be built into their website, just like with Amazon, just like the way Amazon does it. So that will change this year, next year. That's the timeline that eBay has given us. And I'm sure once you start using managed payments, eBay is the one who's going to send you the 1099. So speaking of managed payments, Ed wants to know, when you're using a stealth account, will stealth accounts still work when you're doing managed payments? And that's a really good question, Ed, that we really don't have the answer to yet. So stealth accounts, I've made a whole bunch of videos about those recently. If you want to check those out, just search on YouTube for my name, Paul J. Lipsky, stealth accounts. I made a few videos about it. But the basics of what they are is, let's say your old eBay account gets suspended. What you want to do is start a new account, but let's say you can't get your account unsuspended. So you start a stealth account. It kind of hides who you are from eBay so that you can start selling again. And it's very doable right now it's just doable right now, but the way the system is set up is we have PayPal and we have eBay. The question is, once eBay is an all-in-one platform, will stealth accounts still work? Will the same documentation, because eBay might require some additional documentation that they're not asking for now, and they're not asking for it now because they're not the ones processing the payments like PayPal is. So the question is, will managed payments become an issue for stealth accounts? And that's what we have to kind of wait and see at this time. But without a doubt, we will be watching it and keeping an eye on it. And a follow-up question from Darth Vader says, hi, Paul. Do you know when we get the Do we know when we get the 1099 form from PayPal? I'm not entirely sure, but they do send it to you. I've never had a problem with having to chase them for it. Keep an eye on your inbox, your email inbox for your PayPal account, and they will let you know. Okay. So, LukeyTube says, hey, Paul, I have a question. I'm 16 years old, which is pretty awesome that you're interested in e-commerce and business at 16 years old. And you're saying, I recently started dropshipping business. I have found more success with a total of 2 sales on Amazon. Okay. Are you dropshipping on eBay or Amazon? Not clear there. But I cannot buy from Amazon with PayPal and my debit card. It sounds like, I'm not exactly sure. Well, first of all, it sounds like you're having some success, so congratulations on that. But it sounds like you're unable to make some purchases on Amazon with PayPal, which you can't do, and your debit card's not working. So what I would recommend, your debit card should work. There's no reason that I can think of why your debit card would not work on Amazon. It should. But if it doesn't work, what you can try doing is, if you have a credit card, use that, but you're 16, I don't know. You should really speak to your parents or guardians and ask them. You really need their permission to be doing something like this anyway. But you could reach out to them and say like, hey, can I use your credit card and I'll reimburse you for this? I'm just buying something from Amazon, which everyone knows is a legitimate website. Another thing you could try doing is actually going to a pharmacy like CVS, Walgreens, and actually buying an Amazon gift card from there, and then using that to purchase the item from Amazon and ship it to your customer. Is eBay dropshipping legal? Yes, dropshipping is legal. Dropshipping is a legitimate business model that has been around for decades, even before the internet. Everyone says, dropshipping has been around since dawn of the internet, and that's not true. It's been around longer than that. Dropshipping is a model that we used to see with catalog companies. So people used to get these big catalogs in the mail. I don't know, do people still get that? Like around Christmas, you get like these really thick catalogs and you go through them and see like, oh, this is what I want for Christmas, or I'm going to buy this for someone else. And a lot of those magazines, they just drop ship the product. They're just a middleman connecting the products from the manufacturer with the potential customer. And that's what we're doing here. It's totally legitimate. We see Walmart drop shipping, Home Depot drop ships, Wayfair is a drop shipping company. Zappos started out as a drop shipping company. So it's a completely legitimate business model, and it is legal. Why doesn't Walmart ship to California? M40A33, Walmart does ship to California, but they don't ship some products to California, and that's not Walmart's fault. You'll see the same thing with any other online retailer. And the reason for that is because California has some very unusual and strict environmental laws. And I think it's called Prop 66, if I'm remembering it correctly. Although I always seem to get it confused with Order 66. So I don't know if I'm just... Yeah, it is Prop 66. So, a little Star Wars reference there. So Prop 66 is basically this environmental law that you can look it up, but there's some products that aren't allowed to be sold to customers in California because they're made of certain materials or they can't be recycled very well. And so that's the reason for that. So you'll see that with some products. So you do have a credit card. It's only $500 limit, or 500 euro limit. Is that a euro sign? So I would use one of the techniques I gave you, or try paying off your credit card every single day. Some banks won't let you do that, but do it as much as you can until they tell you can't do it. How can I buy an eBay account? You could ask around on Facebook, and there are some websites that sell them as well. I can't really recommend one right now because I don't have a really good one right now, but there are people who sell them on Facebook. Okay, is opening an eBay store a good idea? Yes, it is. Are your items public there too? Or do you have to do paid ads like Shopify? So yeah, big difference between Shopify and eBay. And this is the primary difference, is with advertising. So when you open an eBay account, your items will be public. People will be able to search on eBay and instantly see your products on there, assuming you're using the right titles and you're optimizing your descriptions and everything to make sure that they do get ranked high in the search results. So you don't have to run ads for these products. People are already on eBay searching for a product. Let's say, again, we're using that drone as an example. They'll search for drone, and your item will come up and they can buy it from you. Now on Shopify, you have to drive traffic to your website. People aren't going to your website already. They don't know you exist like they know eBay or Amazon exists. So if they want to find your products, you have to actually get them to find it, or they're not actually even going to be searching for your product. You actually have to kind of put the item in front of them and get them to want to buy the product. And there's so many different ways you can do that, whether it's through paid ads like on Facebook or Instagram, or influencer shout outs on Instagram, or trying to do it through Google SEO, which is a very lengthy process, but something people do. And so those are the ways that you would do it, right? But you don't have to worry about that with eBay and Amazon because, again, the people are already there looking for your products. Okay. In the Florida Keys, says Tommy. Jealous. It's pretty cold here in Iowa right now. What's up, Kathy? Thanks for making it. What's your advice on AliExpress dropshipping during Chinese New Year's? I'm gonna make a whole video about this because a lot of people don't know about this, and you want to make sure that you are aware of this. Okay. Is there a better way to sell stuff online than Amazon and eBay? Ken asks. So Ken, that really depends on what you're trying to sell and what model you're using. For drop shipping, I think the best platforms for drop shipping in this order for beginners is eBay, more advanced is Amazon, and then more advanced is Shopify. And I really like Amazon and Shopify. Well, yeah, I would say that's the order. From beginner to most advanced. eBay, Amazon, Shopify. Now, and there's other places you can drop ship, like Walmart, for instance, you can actually drop ship on Walmart. But if you're selling other products, then in addition to eBay and Amazon, you could look at things like Mercari, Poshmark. What is it? Poshmark. Posh. I'm blanking. Posh. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm blanking on it right now. I don't know why my brain can't think of the rest of that word. And and of course, Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, all places to sell products. Oh, keep it. How do you, any update on sales tax? Nothing really new. How do you update tax information with Walmart? You have to resubmit the application. Or go through the application process again, and then you can edit what you need to edit. Other places to drop ship from besides Amazon and Walmart. So one that I really like is Home Depot. You can also use Lowe's, but they're a bit tricky. They've gotten kind of worse recently. And I wouldn't dismiss either Chinese suppliers. Like we've been working with AliExpress and really enjoying it. And so with these Chinese suppliers, you are going to get longer shipping times. So it is going to take longer for the customers to get the items. But with that said, the markup in terms of the percentage is going to be much, much higher. You can actually make more money with those products. You just have to give a realistic expectation to the buyers of how long it's going to take for the customers to actually receive the items. Really, any retail website you can use to dropship from, as long as you make it work. And that might take some time for you to figure out that supplier, but really any online retailer can work. How do you find products to dropship on eBay? We use a 3-step formula, a 3-step system. And actually in the description of this video, I have a link to a free eBay training. So what I would do is go underneath this video and click on the link that should say free eBay training, should be one of the first links. And then check that out because that gives you exactly the steps to take to find the products. Okay, so Susan has a question about sales tax, saying I have to turn around at the end of the year to pay taxes to my state, even if I'm tax exempt. So let me be very clear about this, in that there's a difference between income tax and sales tax. And on this channel, if I'm talking about taxes, there is a greater than 90% chance that I'm talking about sales tax and not income tax, because I do not give advice about income tax. I'm not a tax professional, so I can't really talk about income tax. So chances are on this channel, when I'm talking about being taxes, I'm talking about sales tax, and when I'm talking about becoming tax exempt, we're talking about sales tax. You can't become income tax exempt. I'm sorry, guys. You just can't do it. There are ways to obviously save money when it comes to income tax, but for that, you should speak to like your accountant or an expert, or do your own research, and figure that out on your own. But when it comes to sales tax, yes, if you're collecting sales tax, now, like I said before, eBay is collecting sales tax for us for most states. But if there is one state that they're not collecting for and you are collecting for, then you will have to then take the money you collected and give it to the state that you owe it to. And you have to do that either every quarter or every month or every year, depending on what that state tells you. When you sign up, that state will tell you, you have to send us this money every month, every quarter, or every year. Whatever they tell you to do, that's what you do. And I know sales tax can be confusing. People get really worried about it. I would not be worried about this. I would not use this as a roadblock to getting started with eBay, because again, eBay is handling sales tax for us for many states. Same thing with Amazon if you're selling on Amazon. There are a few states they don't do it for. But in the beginning, it's not, you don't have to collect sales tax for those other states. You only have to collect sales tax for one of those other states if you live in that state. So that's just something you want to keep in mind. So chances are in the beginning, you're going to be collecting sales tax for 0 states, or at most 1 state in most cases. Later on, once you start scaling up, then you might have to worry about the handful of other states that eBay and Amazon are not collecting sales tax for. And maybe by the time you get to that point, eBay and Amazon will be collecting sales tax for those states. Whoa, awesome, Tommy. Congratulations. Hit $20,000 in the last 60 days. 6 months in with Paul's course. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Tommy, for sharing that awesome news. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Is it legal to do drop shipping from eBay to eBay? Again, there's a big difference between whether something is legal and whether it's allowed by eBay, whether it matches up with their terms of service, so to speak. So the terms of service is basically like when you agree to use their website. It's like a contract basically between you and the website when you start using it. Just wanted to clarify that. But the question is, can you do drop shipping from eBay to eBay? That's totally legal. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't always recommend it because, actually I never recommend it because when, let's say we're using this mouse as an example. This you sell on eBay and then you buy it from someone else on eBay. When you buy it from someone else, they are going to ship it, right? They're going to ship it to your customer because that's where you're going to tell them to ship it to. The seller for this, the original seller, not you, they are going to give you a tracking number for this mouse. And they're going to put that into eBay. You're going to get that tracking number, and then you're going to give it to your buyer. But if you try to take that same tracking number and upload it to eBay for your order, you will not be able to do it. And that's because eBay, it collects all the tracking numbers it receives for every single order. And it will not let you reuse a tracking number. So that's ever been used on eBay. So that tracking number that you got was already used. It was already inputted by the original seller. So you can't then use it and reuse it for this new buyer, the buyer that you have. So I hope that makes sense. That's why one of the reasons I really don't recommend you do it. Hey, Paul from West Palm Beach. Hey, what's up, John? John, were you the John that I met in West Palm Beach? You don't have a photo here, so I can't tell. How many items does your Amazon VA list, and do they use software? So my VAs do it all manually, and they list about 25 products a day onto Amazon. Okay. Okay. Weird comment. Troll alert. Yep. I have sent 2 messages and they're not showing up. Do you have to pay to send messages? What the heck? No, you don't have to pay to send messages. I don't know why your messages aren't showing up, unless they include something that's like a bad word. Then YouTube will block it. Okay, so Jennifer, here's her message. I've been so excited and waiting to talk to you. So what's up, Jennifer? How long did it actually take for you to start seeing profit? And what made you start? So I started dropshipping because I was not happy with the job I was working at. And the irony, which this is kind of like a spoiler, is that I did end up getting a job that I did like, but then my dropshipping took off and it just didn't make sense for me to do both. So, but going back to the beginning was I was working a job that I really didn't like. It was a really long commute. That was mostly the problem with it, was the commute. And I just wasn't feeling fully fulfilled with that work. So I started to not only look for another job, but I also started to try dropshipping. And I was trying dropshipping on Shopify. Saw mild success, but not really. And then I pretty much gave up when I got a new job. Now it turns out that new job I didn't like either, but I'd already stopped dropshipping. So I started looking at other options, and I said, I need something really inexpensive to start with, because I'd pretty much blown through my entire allowance that I'd given myself, the budget I'd given myself to start an online business. And so I found eBay dropshipping, and eBay really appealed to me because the cost to get started was really, really low. And it's just crazy to me thinking about that. Thinking back to that time and how much I didn't know at that time, and how I was still optimistic about it, but still very apprehensive because it's something brand new. And I was very hesitant to tell people what I was doing because it was something so strange and something that few people understood and that not many people talked about. So for me, it was a leap of faith, because even though I didn't have to put a lot of money into it, I did have to put a lot of time into it. And I was also really afraid what people would say about it, especially like my family. They've always been super supportive of me, but it's just a strange thing, this dropshipping. A lot of people don't know about it. So I started doing it. I started in January. It's when after Christmas, I started doing it. And within a couple of weeks of setting up the account, just doing some research and throwing up some products, I made my first sale. I remember what it was. It was an ice scraper for a car. And I was like, wow. I made a couple of dollars on it. It wasn't very much because it was a very cheap product, but it was like, oh my gosh, I just made money that I didn't otherwise have. It was just a couple bucks, but wow. And then I sold another product, and then just started selling just a few products, but I sold them many, many times. And then within a few months, I really, really kind of narrowed in what was working and scaled it up. And that's when I really started to see results. And I went all in with it for the first year. It was like the only thing I was focused on, obsessed with it, you could say, yeah. But I was really enjoying it. I had to learn a lot on my own because there wasn't a lot of updated information out there on how to do it. But I figured it out. And then towards the end of that year, that's when I started this YouTube channel. And then before that, I started coaching people, and then made the courses to help people with it as well. But yeah, it took a few months. But again, I did not have all the information I needed because people weren't sharing back then the updated information that you needed to be successful. Yes, again, eBay dropshipping is legal. Where do you suggest someone who has never done it and is freshly starting out? Where do you start? Honestly, the first thing I would do is check out some YouTube videos. I have plenty of them. Just click underneath here on my name. That will bring up my channel. Click on videos and then sort by the most popular videos. Check out the most popular videos. Those do really well for a reason. Those are the videos of mine that provide the best content, the most value, I should say. And then in the description of pretty much all my videos, you'll see a link to more free trainings. Those are not on YouTube. Those are exclusive off of YouTube. You have to sign up to get access to them. And they go more in depth into training. So after you watch a couple of YouTube videos, again, underneath this video, click the link for the free trainings and check those out because they're much more in depth. And that's where I would start. Poshmark, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, Tommy. Okay. What's up, TJ? Florida says, I'm originally from Iowa. I didn't know that, man. Okay. All right, so I had a few more comments from this week. This hour's flying by already. Okay, so this person asks, hey Paul, could you please tell me how to download AutoDS for the PC? So AutoDS, again, is that software I use to help me dropship onto eBay. And that's the one that quickly lists items onto eBay and connects the items so that the price changes on eBay. Sorry, if the price changes on my supplier's website, automatically changes on eBay. And that's totally cloud-based. It's totally online. So once you sign up for an account, you can access it from any of your computers as long as you have the username and password. You can access it from your phone. So it's not something you download to your PC or MacBook or something like that. It's all online. Oh, awesome. Robin says, hey, I tried dropshipping before I took Paul's course and it was going okay, but had some problems. After Paul's course, I know so much more and it's going so well so far. Thanks, Paul. Well, thanks, Robin, for that awesome comment. I really, really appreciate it. Albie says, can you invest or can you give me $200 and I'll give back to you $300 in 7 days? Ooh, that's a pretty good return on investment right there. That's very, very tempting. What happens if people buy from Puerto Rico? So most retailers will not ship to Puerto Rico. So I always encourage people to exclude Puerto Rico from your shipping policies on eBay and Amazon. You do not ship to Puerto Rico. That's just the rule. It's not worth it trying to figure it out. You just do not ship to Puerto Rico. It's kind of a shame because Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and it's not like it's Hawaii or Alaska. Hawaii and Alaska are pretty far. Puerto Rico is really not that far, so we should ship there, but most retailers don't for some reason, or they charge a lot extra to do it. I have a 3-year-old eBay account. I want to use it for drop shipping. eBay says I don't have any limits. That's awesome. I'm suspicious of the answer though. Thoughts? It's entirely possible that you have no limits. Some older accounts do not have limits. 3 years though is not that old. I'm kind of surprised that they say you have no limits on just a 3-year-old account, but it is possible. Hey, just call them back. Speak to another representative and see what they say. If they tell you the same thing, chances are you've got pretty lucky. You have a limit-free account. Let's see. Okay, so Abdel says, hey, I'm working on eBay for 2 years now. I want to make a second account. So I'm going to buy a new laptop, use my sister's PayPal. So it sounds like you're creating basically a stealth account. That's completely separate from your main account. But what you're going to do is you're going to buy an eBay account with feedback. Is that safe? So there's a risk there. I've heard of people doing it. I've considered trying it myself, but the issue is that you never really know what's going to happen when you buy that account. I mean, you're going to have to change some information on it. I've heard, this is not something I can verify or speak too much of, because like I said, I've only thought about doing this, never actually done it myself, is that when you change too much information on your account, it kind of raises some red flags with eBay, and there's a chance your account could get suspended. Now, chances are for something like that, I doubt they would suspend you forever. I think you just got to call them up and kind of explain why the owner information changed. But where was I going with that? But the drawback here is that if you are permanently suspended, chances are the person you bought it from is not going to give you your money back. Now, there are some websites that will sell you stealth accounts, and usually those stealth accounts start from zero, so no feedback, nothing on the account. And for those ones, the kind of benefit, if you buy it from a legitimate source, is that if you get suspended right away, they generally a lot of times will offer you some sort of support or a guarantee that at least your account, if you do everything correctly, will not get suspended within the first month or two. And if it does, they'll give you another account that you can try or give you your money back. Now, going back to what I said before about changing information on your account and how that could possibly raise red flags, that's something that I've actually done myself. I've changed the name on my accounts, I've changed the address, I've changed the phone number, and it's never been an issue for my account. So it's certainly something you can try. I don't believe, based on my experience, that changing information on your account or the account that you buy will be a problem, because I've done it before for my own accounts and it hasn't been an issue. But I did just want to let you know about that because it's something I have heard. And I just want to give you as much information for you to make an educated decision about this as you can. Yes, on eBay, you have to go into your shipping policies and exclude Puerto Rico. There is a spot for that. Okay, Tommy says, what is the best accounting software for drop shipping? So, honestly, the best software out there for bookkeeping, accounting, is QuickBooks. And the benefit of QuickBooks is that it is like the industry standard. QuickBooks, and if you have an accountant, they're going to know QuickBooks. Now, in the beginning, I was using GoDaddy Bookkeeping. And the great thing about GoDaddy is that it integrates so well when it works. It integrates so well with eBay and PayPal. So it really is more of an automated software. So it's really good for eBay sellers. The problem with it is that my accountant and a lot of the accountants I spoke to aren't familiar with it at all. So they kind of have to struggle with learning it. And it almost gives you too much information. It gives you every single transaction. It's almost too much information. Where with QuickBooks, it is a more manual process, but at least you can make sure it's only getting the information that you want it to get, which will help you stay more organized. So, do you dropship from eBay to Amazon? I do not, but I know people who do it. The problem with eBay is that it is a marketplace. So when you're dropshipping from eBay to Amazon, you don't necessarily know who you are dropshipping from. That's fine though, as long as you check their feedback, make sure they're a good seller and they don't have a lot of negative feedback, then it should be fine to dropship from eBay to Amazon. I've just personally never done it myself. I do know there's a lot of opportunity there. I have a good friend, Carter Maxwell, aka or the YouTuber formerly known as the High School Hustler, and he does a lot of flips from eBay to Amazon. So he'll buy them from eBay, ship them to himself first, then send them into Amazon FBA. And he says he makes really good money doing that. So I'm sure there's also room in there for drop shipping as well. Are your VAs full-time? Some of them are, yes. Okay, so let's look at some of these more questions from the week. Clear as mud. That was a comment on the video about sales tax, all the changes. So I know sales tax can be confusing. I hope I was able to clarify a little bit in this video. It benefits selling posted. Okay, so Priscilla says, just curious about Chinese suppliers and how long it takes to ship the items. And yeah, so about shipping from Chinese suppliers like AliExpress, it's again fine as long as you have the buyer has the right expectations. So you have to put in your shipping policy for that item that this is coming from China and it's going to take a long time to get there. As long as it's in there, you will be protected. And the buyer should see that as well. So regarding stealth accounts, Martina wants to know, how do you understand if the new account is linked with your main account? I've asked eBay, but they didn't tell me. So they won't tell you. If you ask, then you've just kind of ruined your stealth account. So yeah, if you start a new account and you're not using you're not trying to create a stealth account, let's say you just start a new account right now, they will link it up. I guarantee it. They will know that your old account is owned by the same person who just created this new account. They're going to figure it out. But if you're trying to create a stealth account and you're not sure if it worked, you can't call eBay and say, hey, is this new stealth account linked up with my old account? Because then you just gave yourself away. You really won't know. There are some indications. So first of all, if your old account has a high listing limit and you start a stealth account and your stealth account has an abnormally high limit for a new account, that's a good chance that your accounts have been connected. And what you can do is call eBay and say, hey, I just started this new account. I'm not complaining, but why are my limits so much higher on this new account? And they might say, oh, we see that you've been selling already under this old account, so it as well. But that's it. Yeah. Okay. How many sales will you be able to make before you go into PayPal jail? So if you're a new seller on eBay, you go right into PayPal jail. And you're in PayPal jail for the first 1 to 3 months. How many times a month can you call support for a selling limit increase? You're only supposed to call once per month. You're only supposed to get one limit increase per month. Now, with that said, they might issue you another one without you asking. And I know people have called multiple times a month and have had their limits increased multiple times a month, but I wouldn't really risk it. I would call once per month and just leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, they don't really take the best notes over there. So if you call in, it's multiple times, it's probably not a big deal, but I don't know. If you're calling in and they keep saying no and no and no and no, just give up and wait until next month. Yeah, if you're selling on Amazon, you need a Social Security or an EIN. Okay. Greg says, managed payment has been terrible. I would stick with PayPal as long as I could. That's kind of the feeling I've been getting from other sellers. Okay. Zeke does offer competitor research. I just used it yesterday. I'm not sure why it's not working for you or whatever. And dropshipping from Alibaba. I prefer AliExpress. Okay. Okay, so a couple other questions. Okay, Shape5 says, when are you going to make a video about buyers being scammed? I had one seller try to scam me out of $6,000, and I got some items that are flawed. As someone who has made many purchases on eBay, I'm very careful about what I buy because of the seller scammers out there. So, I mean, I don't really have to deal with this because I'm a seller on eBay, not a buyer, and we certainly always ship our items out. We always order them from our supplier and ship them to our customers. So I can't really speak about you being scammed. I hope you weren't scammed out of $6,000. I'm not sure how you got yourself into that position. But $6,000 is a lot. I would not ever purchase anything on eBay that costs $6,000. You kind of have to be, use your head here, right? $6,000 product on Amazon, eBay. That's I would not buy that on eBay personally. Do you need a dedicated IP and VPN to run 2 accounts on the same computer? So I do recommend a dedicated VPN a dedicated IP address. It's kind of the same thing. So you need a dedicated IP address. If that's what I recommend for like a stealth account. And if you're running more than one account, see, the method I teach is that you're going to log into different users on your computer, and that avoids a cookie issue. The more advanced way is to use these things called VPSs, which are virtual private systems. They're basically like you're remote logging into another computer, and those work. I really hate using them, but if you're running multiple of them, that's kind of what you want to do. But it's a huge pain, and I don't tell most people to do it because it's just so slow, and it just is not a good way for most people to start stealth accounts. Buffering. Oh no, video's back. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if the video is dropping out or not. But okay, I'm going to end this in 1 second. I have one final thing to talk about. But before I do that, if you guys got any value out of this video, then I would appreciate if you smash that like button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. And let me know in the comment section any questions you have for next live Q&A. Remember, if you don't want to miss the live Q&A, then make sure to, after you give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell notification so you get alerted when I go live. But I have one final question here that I want to answer. Hopefully you guys can see this. I know we're having some buffering issues at this point because I don't have the best internet connection where I am. And that question is, do you think putting no returns on eBay listings would be easier? No, I do not, because buyers expect to be able to return items. So you have to give them the option to do that. And eBay likes when they offer you free returns, when they offer returns. And they will actually rank you lower in the search results if you don't offer returns. But this comment kind of caught my attention, the name Evan Eats, so I decided to check out his YouTube channel, and it looks like he has kind of a mukbang channel. And this one, he's got, what is that, like 6 or 7 cups of cocoa that he's drinking all of them in one sitting. Oh man, oh my goodness. How do I make myself so you can see my face as I'm reacting to this? Wow. That is a lot of cocoa, man. I don't know if you felt sick doing this or what. Wow. I want to see if he actually drinks all of it. Well, he got a lot of it on the table. Got a lot of it on the table. Oh my gosh. Oh man, look at that face. He looks like he's in pain. All right, Evan Eats. Well, I hope I was able to answer your question, but oh my goodness, I hope you're not still doing. Oh, he looks fine to me. Okay. All right, guys. So that's all I got for this week. Big shout out to Evan Eats for drinking all that cocoa and for asking the question. Okay, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.